Hey friends! Tonight, beneath a sky full of stars, our stories drift softly through the quiet night. I hope they carry you into the sweetest dreams, wrapped in kindness and wonder. If you're feeling that calm, tap subscribe and share a little of this magic with someone you care about. Before you drift off, drop a comment and let me know. Where are you watching from? And what time is it where you are right now? Tonight, beneath the gentle night sky, our journey through the love story of Tahmasb and Golchin continues. In just moments, we'll pass through the palace gates to witness the lavish preparations for Prince Tahmasb's magnificent wedding. One of Prince Tahmasb's biggest challenges was the traditional wedding dances. A man of books and politics, he had never been much of a dancer. The royal dance master, Mirza Abdullah, was adamant. Every groom must dance at his own wedding. Mirza Abdullah: Your Highness, dancing reveals a man's character. Prince Tahmasb: Master, I am more of a thinker than a dancer. Mirza Abdullah: Your Highness, weddings are no place for thinking. They are for joy. Teaching him was no small task. Prince Tahmasb struggled with the steps and tripped more than once. But after 2 weeks of relentless practice, the moment of triumph came. Mirza Abdullah: Well done, Your Highness. Now you're ready for the wedding floor. Prince Tahmasb: Let's just hope I don't forget the steps on the big day. At last, the night of henna bandan arrived, one of the most enchanting traditions of a Safavid wedding. The celebration took place in the gardens of Golchin Palace, where the fragrance of roses and jasmine floated through the air. Preparing for the evening had been no small task. 2,000 oil lamps were lit, 50 varieties of sweets were arranged, and fresh flowers were brought in from across Persia. In charge of it all was Mirza Hassan, a man who had been organizing royal festivities for 20 years. Yet even he confessed he had never seen a ceremony of this scale. Mirza Hassan: My friends, everything must be perfect tonight. Even the wind must not blow the wrong way. First worker: Sir, the wind is out of our hands. Mirza Hassan: Then pray and keep calm. While the henna ceremony was taking place, Prince Tahmasb was holding his own special gathering for men. He had gathered with his male friends and relatives in another wing of the palace. Mirza Haidar, an old friend of the prince, was in charge of the evening. He had arranged a lively mix of poetry, music, and good-natured conversation. Mirza Haidar: Tahmasb, tonight is your last night as a bachelor. Prince Tahmasb: Haidar, I'm not worried. I think married life will be interesting. Mirza Reza, another friend, leaned in with a grin. Mirza Reza: Tahmasb, there's one thing you must learn. Prince Tahmasb: And what's that? Mirza Reza: That women are always right. Laughter filled the room, but soon the jokes gave way to sincere advice. Mirza Haidar: Marriage means patience and understanding. Mirza Ali: It means mutual respect. Mirza Reza: And it means love and care. At midnight, as tradition required, the two separate celebrations, one for the men and one for the women, came together. Guests gathered in the palace's central courtyard to continue the joint festivities of the henna dressing night. This was a truly special moment, for it was the first time Prince Tahmasb and Golchin appeared together. They sat side by side on a throne adorned with red and white flowers. Shah Abbas, who until then had been watching quietly, stepped forward to speak. Dear friends and family, tonight marks the union of two hearts. Tomorrow, My son Tahmasb and my dear daughter Golchin will begin a new life together. May this union bring happiness and blessings, not only to them, but to all of Iran." The crowd answered with a cheer. Long live the Shah. At last, the wedding day arrived. That morning, all of Isfahan buzzed with activity. The city knew it was about to witness a historic celebration. Golchin woke up at 6 o'clock, but her preparations lasted until noon. 10 women from the family had gathered to help. 2 to style her hair, to do her makeup, 2 to dress her, 2 to arrange her jewelry, and 2 to keep her nerves under control. For although Golchin had remained calm throughout the engagement, wedding morning jitters finally caught up with her. Golchin: "Ladies, what if something goes wrong?" Her mother: "My dear, everything will be perfect." Her aunt: "Golchin, you are the most beautiful bride in the world." Another aunt: "Just remember to smile." The wedding caravan was ready for its grand journey. 100 horses, 20 camels, and 300 footmen, all set to escort Golchin to the Shah's palace. At its head rode Mirza Kazim, a veteran caravan master, who confessed he had never seen anything so magnificent. Mirza Kazim: "Today, everything must run like clockwork." The horses, camels, and musicians were all in position, except for one setback. A carriage horse had fallen ill that very morning. First assistant: "We can find another horse." Second assistant: "But this one was special." Kazim paused, then smiled. Mirza Kazim: "2 white horses will carry the bride in style." The new arrangement turned out to be so beautiful, it outshone the original plan. When the caravan reached the palace, a rare honor awaited it. Shah Abbas himself stood at the grand entrance, surrounded by his courtiers. Beside him sat Prince Tahmasb, draped in a golden robe. He had been composed all morning, but the sight of the wedding procession stirred his nerves. Prince Tahmasb, whispering, "Father, I'm worried." Shah Abbas: "Why, my son?" Prince Tahmasb: "What if she doesn't like it?" Shah Abbas: "Tahmasb, you are a good man. She will like it, without a doubt." When Golchin steps down from the carriage, the courtyard fell silent. She was so radiant that even Shah Abbas could not hide his astonishment. The wedding ceremony was held in the palace's Hall of Mirrors, one of the most magnificent halls in the world. Thousands of tiny mirrors lined the walls, each catching and scattering candlelight in a dazzling display. The court judge, Haj Mirza Muhammad, had 40 years of experience officiating noble marriages. Even he confessed he had never presided over a wedding in such a breathtaking setting. Prince Tahmasb and Golchin sat upon fine Kashan silk carpets. A white silk cloth held above their heads by 2 women from the family. Haj Mirza Muhammad began solemnly, "We are gathered here today to witness the union of 2 pure hearts." Then came the pivotal question, which tradition demanded be asked 3 times. Haj Mirza Muhammad: "Madam, do you take Mirza Tahmasb to be your husband for life?" The first time, Golchin stayed silent. A woman from the family teased, "She's gone to pick flowers." He asked again. The bride remained quiet. The same woman laughed, "She's gone to make perfume." On the third time, Golchin answered softly but clearly, "Yes, with the blessing of my elders, yes." Cheers and applause filled the hall. Prince Tahmasb, who had been tense until that moment, finally allowed himself a deep, relieved smile. The wedding celebrations lasted 7 nights, with each evening reserved for guests from a different city. On the first night, it was Tabriz's turn, and the mood transformed completely. The Tabrizis brought their vibrant folk music and joyful dances, filling the air with energy. They performed a traditional group dance called Yalali. In this dance, everyone joins hands and moves together in a circle. The leader of the dance troupe beckoned the bride and groom to join. Prince Tahmasb, a little shy by nature, hesitated at first, but the chorister teased him with a smile. "Come on, Tahmasb, teach me how it's done." At last, they stepped into the circle. Prince Tahmasb, who had been secretly practicing for weeks. On the second night, it was Yazd's turn to celebrate. The desert city's guests brought with them a mix of soulful desert music and vibrant folk theatre. Their main performance was a traditional puppet show, a charming folk performance in which small, handmade puppets acted out the love story of 2 young people. But their most memorable gift was a sweet surprise: the famous Yazdi cake, a delicacy baked only in Yazd and known for its fragrant aroma and unique taste. When the bride and groom tasted the cake, Prince Tahmasb exclaimed with joy, "From tomorrow, this cake must be served every day in our palace." Golchin confirmed with a laugh, "Yes, it really is delicious." On the third night, it was Kashan's turn to share its treasures. The guests from this historic city brought their renowned handicrafts and artistic creations, presenting an exhibition of handmade carpets, fresh roses, and gleaming Kashan silk fabrics. The highlight of the evening was a carpet weaving competition. With a playful challenge, the Kashanis invited the bride and groom to join in. Prince Tahmasb, "I've never woven a carpet before." Golchin, "Me neither, but I'd love to learn." The celebrated master weaver of Kashan, Haj Aga Ali, stepped forward to teach them. With steady hands, he demonstrated how to interlace the threads. After an hour of laughter and concentration, the royal couple had produced a small piece of carpet. It was uneven and loose, but to them, it became a precious keepsake. Master Haj Aga Ali, "Prince, this is the first carpet you've woven together with your bride. Treasure it always." On the 6th night, it was the turn of the Golchin family. The guests from Gilan, in Iran's lush northern region, brought their vibrant local culture and folk music. They performed the lakat dance, a lively, joyful number in which the dancers wave white handkerchiefs in rhythm to the music. The energy and cheer filled the room. That evening, Golchin's father, Mirza Muhammad Khan, who was hosting the celebration, rose to speak. "Tonight is the last night my daughter will sleep under our roof. Tomorrow she will be in her new home. But I know she will always remain our daughter." Understanding the depth of the moment, Prince Tahmasb stepped forward and said, "Mirza Muhammad Khan, Golchin will always be your daughter, and you will always be my second father." The 7th night was the grand finale of the wedding. This time, there was no single host. Everyone celebrated together. Guests from every corner of Iran filled the courtyard, their music, dances, and costumes blending into one dazzling display of unity. The air carried the scents of saffron rice, rosewater sweets, and fresh northern herbs. Dancers from Isfahan spun to the rhythms of Yazd musicians. Tabrizi clapped along with Gilani singers. It was a living tapestry of Iran's many cultures, woven into one night. When the music paused, Shah Abbas stepped forward. "Friends, for 7 nights we have rejoiced together. We have seen that Iran is a land of both love and unity. Tahmasb and Golchin, you have not only married, you have united the hearts of our people. The crowd roared as one. Long live the Shah, long live the bride and groom. The final tradition was called house shaking, the moment when the bride and groom moved into their new home for the first time. Shah Abbas had gifted them a small palace set within the gardens of Isfahan. Known as the Palace of Flowers and Nightingales, it was surrounded by a sea of red and white blossoms. When Golchin and Tahmasb stepped inside, they were met with a vision of beauty. Rooms draped in flower petals, the soft glow of fragrant candles, and the gentle sweetness of rosewater in the air. Golchin, awestruck, whispered, "Tahmasb, this feels like a dream." Smiling, the prince replied, "From today, Golchin, this is our home. May it always be filled with happiness." Months passed, and Golchin and Tahmasb built a happy life together. They were not only lifelong partners, but also the closest of friends. Golchin, who loved to read, set about arranging the palace library. Tahmasb, a poet by nature, began writing verses about love and life. Each week they welcomed one of the families who had attended their wedding, transforming their palace into a small centre of culture and friendship. A year later, they were blessed with their first child, a son they named Bahram. On hearing the news, Shah Abbas beamed and said, "Now the family is complete." Years later, when historians wrote about Shah Abbas's reign, the wedding was remembered as one of the most important cultural events of the era, not only for its splendour and beauty, but also for the powerful message it conveyed. Today, if you visit the Chellah Palace in Isfahan, you can still see paintings depicting that celebration. The museum carefully preserves the dishes and jewellery used in the ceremony. But more than the artefacts, it is the spirit of that wedding, the spirit of love, joy and unity, that still lives on in Iranian culture. Good evening, history lovers. I hope you enjoyed this journey into the past. Tomorrow night, I will return with another story from the pages of Iranian history.